Hi there, and welcome back to Finding Wendy. Oh my God, this week has been mind-blowing. I have learned such an amazing thing this week. I have discovered this article from the New York Times, and I wanted to talk about that in this video today. So stay tuned, because your mind will be blown. So first thing I want to talk about, of course, are my stats, because you all want to hear about my stats. So when I started this journey back in December 2017, I weighed 450 pounds. My first day of Optifast, I was weighing 400. My surgery was on March 20th, 2018, and I was 375. Last week, I was 310, and this week I'm 308. So I'm only 8 pounds away from Tutopia. So I have been in and around, all around YouTube. I love YouTube, and I'm finding out so much information about the bariatric world, but a lot of things have helped me. And what has helped me immensely this week is this incredible article that I discovered that was published. So basically, I'm going to post links to, first of all, a candidate that used to be on, who was on The Biggest Loser. Her name is Rasha Spindel, and she was talking about this New York Times article. So this was like something that came out 2 years ago. It was published in August 2016, and it's called Persistent Metabolic Adaptation 6 Years After Biggest Loser Competition. So basically, the study is to measure long-term changes in resting metabolic rate, RMR, and body composition in participants of The Biggest Loser. So they basically had 16 Biggest Loser competitors that were part of this study, and 14 participated in the follow-up study. And basically what they have discovered, and I will read this to you from the New York Times article, which is like mind-blowing. I cannot believe this. So just quote unquote from the New York Times. So anyways, I'll read a little bit from the New York Times article. And basically what the New York Times did was put it into you and I layman terms, and it's not like a medical. I'm not a doctor, I'm not a nurse, I can't read medical journals. So this is a little easier to understand. It has to do with resting metabolism, which determines how many calories a person burns when at rest. When the show began, the Biggest Loser show, the contestants, though hugely overweight, had normal metabolisms for their size, meaning they were burning a normal amount of calories for people of their weight. When it ended, their metabolisms had slowed radically, and their bodies were not burning enough calories to maintain their thinner sizes. Researchers knew that just about anyone who deliberately loses weight, even if they started a normal weight or even underweight, will have a slower metabolism when the diet ends. So they were not surprised to see that the Biggest Loser contestants had slower metabolisms when the show ended. What shocked the researchers is what happened next. As the years went by and the numbers on the scale climbed, the contestants' metabolisms did not recover. They became even slower, and the pounds kept piling on. It is as if their bodies were intensifying their effort to pull the contestants back to their original weight. So basically, and then one of the contestants, he regained more than 100 pounds because his metabolism slowed so much that just to maintain the current weight of 295 pounds, he now had to eat 800 calories a day less than a typical man his size. Anything more turns to fat. So this is a huge discovery for me, because many of you know, or many of you are friends of mine or family members know that I have been on a gazillion diets. I was on the Atkins diet when I was 16, lost 100 pounds, gained all that weight back, and then some. Then I've been on Weight Watchers. I've been on so many different diets. I did the diet and exercise, everything. And I calculated that over my lifetime, between the age of 16 and 59, no, let's say 16 and 50, I have lost 700 pounds and gained 700 or maybe 800 pounds. Because every time I went on a diet, I would get to my goal or get close to my goal, and then I regain the weight. And I regain more weight. And so what this study is saying is that if your body is starting at a certain weight and you lose the weight, your body is automatically going to slow down your metabolism so that you will get back to the weight it likes. And that was so weird, because every time I would lose weight and then gain weight, I would always gain weight back to about where I started, and then I would gain a little bit more. So for many, many years, I was always around the 300, 350 mark. And it was only in the last 7 years that I got as high as 450. So it was like my body was meant to be at a certain weight. So I'm sure that you have anybody who's been on a diet and you know, you gain the weight afterwards, right? So the great thing about weight loss surgery is the tool that's given to me is that I now have a tool that helps me with telling me I'm full, but also dealing with when I will get to my goal, which I will in a year or a year and a half from now. Then I have now all the tools and the knowledge that I've gained from this article, from the New York Times article and the actual study on the metabolic rate, and then all of these Biggest Loser candidates. It's just incredible, because I now know that I will have to live the rest of my life eating 800 calories a day. So that was a mind-blowing, this has been a mind-blowing week, because I've talked to friends about this article, and so I'm going to leave the links underneath this video today. I highly recommend that you read this article, and you also watch this video. I post a few videos of some American talk shows where they actually interview some candidates from The Biggest Loser, and they talk about this metabolic rate article. So it's huge. So a few other things that have happened this week that I just wanted to talk about, and something that I did promise that I was going to do a top 10 this week, but because of this article, I thought I got to talk about this, because this is like mind-blowing. So a couple of NSVs. I was in my car at the beginning of the week, and I discovered that I can put on my seatbelt without my seatbelt extender, which is great. NSV is a non-scale victory, by the way. So yeah, it's a seatbelt extension, and I was able to fit in a patio chair. I went to a friend's house for a swim in their backyard, and discovered I was able to just fit in a regular patio chair. So yeah, the body's getting smaller. Even though when I'm looking in the mirror, I don't see the difference, but you do get to feel the difference when you actually get to experience NSVs, where you can, you know, fit in your car. I had to move the seat up in the car, actually, and there's an armrest in my car that I could put down now. And then the other thing I was going to talk about was this clothing budget. So one of the things that I have learned since the surgery and since losing all of this weight is that I have been starved for buying clothes for so long, because I could only buy clothes online. And now I'm going into stores and finding that I can buy clothes right off the rack, and this is dangerous, because there's a thing called what's it called, transfer addiction. So I'm getting a transfer addiction. I went from food addiction to a buying addiction. So that's something that I'm addressing, and then I now have a clothing budget, because the more weight I lose, the more clothes I'm able to buy. And that's a whole new thing for me, because I love clothes. And the third thing I'm really frustrated with is the fact that my hair is really falling out. really falling out. And I've read a lot and seen a lot of YouTube videos of other bariatric patients, and it is a 99% guarantee that your hair will start falling out around month 3 and month 4 after bariatric surgery. So if you're considering bariatric surgery, prepare yourself for that. I mean, you can't really tell, but my hair has become so thin. I mean, I'm not gonna get it cut short, because if you get it cut short, then you can really see the bald spots. So at least with longer hair, and I love my hair. I love my hair. So I just gonna keep it, and just you know, I only brush it like once a day. I only wash it once a week, and hopefully this will stop. But I did buy online from BariLife a vitamin that was recommended to me online, once again on YouTube, to help with the hair growth. So I'm going to start taking that. It's not cheap, this stuff, but it's something you just have to do if you love your hair. Obviously, for men, it's a lot easier. If you're bald, you know, you don't have to worry about that kind of stuff. But women, you know, when you're overweight and you're looking at yourself, you look at yourself and your face mostly. You don't look at your body. So you're always fiddling with your hair, and you want your hair to be nice because there's at least one nice thing on your body. So so that's what happened to me. So it's a bit of a long one this week. Thanks again for watching. I started drinking a new flavor of the Premier Protein drink. I found a caramel flavor at the local Costco, and I'm trying to eat less carbs to try to get the weight loss a little bit faster. I know 2 to 3 pounds a week is normal, but I just wanted to experiment and see if I reduce my carbs, that would help. Like last night I made this wonderful chicken salad with tomatoes, romaine lettuce, and pickles, and a little bit of salad sauce, and it was very satisfying. But I still can only eat 1 cup of food, and so I'm having to, at the end of the day, because I'm not getting enough protein in, I'm always having to have a protein drink at the end of the day that has 30 grams of protein. So that's it for this week. 2-pound loss, happy about that. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoy these videos, please subscribe and like the video, and we will see you again next week. Bye-bye for now.